Matty Inaba is so close to a sub 5 average, but he just can't get it. This past weekend, Matty went to a competition called Bay Area Speed Cubing 55 San Ramon in 2024. And in these 3 rounds of 3x3, he failed a PR average 3 times. And 2 of those 3 averages could have been sub 5. In particular, the first round of 3x3, he got 3 sub 5 singles, but he still ended up not getting a sub 5 average because he counted a 6. So just talking a little bit about this first round average, this average was 5.33, so not too close to his PR average. But if he got a 5.62 on either of his 6-second solves, he would have secured the sub 5 average. So there's one more thing I would like to mention, and that is if one of his 6-second solves was his best solve, he would have ended up getting a 4.53 average, coming only 0.04 off of world record. So this average had world record pace. This would have beaten Timon and Max Park's PR averages, which were world record averages at the time. This leads me to believe that Matty is very capable of beating this world record average. 2 videos ago, I mentioned how Kyle is very capable about it. After I released that video, Timon ended up getting an average that had a 4.49 BPA, which is only 0.01 off of world record. And now Matty just got an average that had a BPA of only 0.05 off of world record. So we know that Matty is more than capable of even beating the world record. He just still needs that sub 5 average. So enough of talking about what this average could have been. Let's just take a look at his solves. Alright, here's a reconstruction of the third solve, which was a 4.35. Here's the scramble heated yellow cross, so we can put yellow top and green front to make it a white cross. For this scramble, you have 2 of the cross edges already solved, 1 move away. You then can solve these 2 together in a nice swift motion. So in inspection, you can easily predict this pair right here, as from right here, it's only right there. And an F move and an R move is what affects this. Like this, that F move, and then the R move. And you can cancel directly into it. And as he was solving it, he noticed this pair right here. Super efficient, canceling into the insert. He then had this pair right here, which he paired it up, and inserted with a U2, which is a really nice finger trick. And then he then paired this one up. So most people would insert it like this and take the trash OLL, but Matty did something really smart. Instead, he noticed this was a VLS, which means you can solve OLL while inserting the last pair. So what he did is he did U, did that right there, and that sets up into this case, which you can actually just do that and insert like that, which solves OLL and the last slot. And then finally, you just have a J-perm. So I just want to see what would have happened if he did the pseudo pair, so same cross solution, but instead he has this pair right here, and then you have this pseudo pair, which it's blue and red and blue and orange. So you can actually just do a D prime right there, and it sets up these 2 correctly because this is blue and red and this is orange and blue. So you can just insert that pair, and then this pseudo pair is actually already set up to be put into the back like that. So you solved 3 pairs with pseudo slotting. And then lastly, all you have is this pair right here. And what you could actually do is do U wide prime, take out the pair, and then just insert it like that. And then, oh wow, you get Nick loss. So that was an insane solution. So this alternate solution that I just showed was only 33 moves. So I took the TPS from his 4.35, which was the original solve, which was 12.4 TPS, which is just an insane amount of TPS, and I plugged it in. And if he did this solution, he would have ended up getting a sub 3 single, which would have easily beaten world record. It just goes to show how good efficient solutions are, and if you're able to turn fast, then it could change your entire solve. So we know Matty does have the capabilities of getting sub 5, but does that mean he will get sub 5? So if you take a look at his channel, The Cuban Jedi, I'll put a link in the description. You guys should definitely go subscribe to him for when he gets the sub 5 average. But anyways, he has posted many sub 5 averages, including a 4.39 average of 5, which is easily beating world record. Doesn't mean he'll perform like this in competition, but it just shows he's more than capable of getting a sub 5 average. He also has a 5.00 average of 12 he has on his channel, which is super close to sub 5, but I bet his PB average of 12 is way faster than 5.00, so he is definitely way more than qualified to get sub 5. Now, I want to talk about the one time that Matty almost did get world record average, which would have been sub 5. So back in June 2022, almost a year and a half ago, he had this average that was on pace for world record average. But then on the third solve, this happened. A +2. This killed the average, but it still ended up being a good average. By all means, a 5.25 average is a great average, but it had potential for world record and the first sub 5 average. Later that year, Timon Kolosinski ended up getting the world record average, pulling it away from Matty's grasp. Ever since then, he has been so close to getting a sub 5 average. Recently, he has a PR average of 5.16, which he actually got at the World Championships, not in the finals, which would have let him win because Max Park got a 5.31 average in finals. This average wasn't all that special, just a couple low 5s, and then he ended up finishing it off with a solid 4.65, clutching him the PR average. This shows that Matty can be clutch in situations like this, so don't be worried when you're saying he will fail sub 5 averages in the future. Another big factor I would like to talk about that determines Matty's results is actually something you guys probably won't think of, which is Monkey League. So I talked about this in 3 videos ago, which was Timon Kolosinski lost in Monkey League and World Championships because of this PLL. You guys should go take a look at the video after this video. And pretty much, Monkey League is when you go head-to-head one cuber against another, and the person that wins more solves wins the set, and the person with the most sets wins. What I've heard from many interviews from multiple people who compete in Monkey League is that Monkey League helps with competition performance.
How Matty said this is good practice for like competitions. I've never been this nervous in a competition in my life. It's like, it's so much, like, I don't know, it's just so weird how nervous I get for these specifically.
I totally agree with Luke. Like, I get super nervous in these and in competition. I'm like, bro, what am I, like, this is nothing. But for some reason, when you're just like going head to head, like, you get super nervous. And I was super nervous today. Pretty much from the first solve. Like, my hands are still kind of shaky. But then, like, I set up my cue pretty slow, so I can just, like, push through my lockups, and I guess that worked out.
And the thing about Monkey League is Monkey League didn't get over until December. In that time frame, Matty didn't go to a single competition. His last competition was in October, and he didn't go to another competition until January, which was the following year, which is this year. And the first competition he's back, he failed 2 sub 5 averages, which honestly it's not his fault because he hasn't competed for a while, so you do crack under more pressure when you haven't competed for a while. I think that Monkey League is the one thing that's helped him improve a lot, and in his Yiheng match where he ended up winning it, he talked about his practice routine. I'll just put it on screen right now.
Well, when I've been practicing, all I've been thinking about is like in sets of 5 where I'm just trying to get 4s. And if I get bad solves, that's fine, but I just have to minimize it to 1 or 2 bad solves and then I win the set. By the time I was warming up for this match, I was like theoretically winning all of my sets, so.
And if you think about this average, this is how he exactly described it. He said that he needed only 3 solves to win the set, which is exactly what he did in this average, which sadly he ended up getting 2 6s in between those sub 5s. If he can clean up the mistakes on the 6-second solves, then he will get a sub 5 average. Matty is a very fast and dedicated speed cuber that is more than capable of getting sub 5, so don't be surprised when he destroys through world record.